$10 million or less budget, I would be.
We're good?
Yep, if everybody can put on mute until it's time to speak, we'll be good.
All right, let's bring the February 16th, 2021 Lincoln Way Special Recreation Association Board of Directors regular meeting to session. Let's do a pledge allegiance.
Okay.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America,
and to the
to the
republic
republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation, under God,
Under
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
With
with
liberty.
liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Tammy.
That was great, Tammy.
Roll call, please.
Okay, everybody unmute yourselves so I can hear you. Greg Vitale,
Here.
Gina will be late.
I'm here.
Okay.
Is
I'm
there-
here. I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Okay, thank you, Gina. Barb,
Here.
Audrey,
Here.
Greg Lewis,
Here.
Jay,
Here.
and Andrew.
Here.
Okay, we have a full quorum.
Okay, we have, I believe, one visitor for public comments.
Nope, that's a special guest.
Oh, a special guest, sorry. Any other public comments then?
I have none.
Okay. We'll move down to our general functions. Motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I'll make that motion, Greg Lewis.
Second, Audrey.
Any questions or comments regarding the treasurer's report? Okay, hearing none. Roll.
Okay. Gina,
Yes.
Barb,
Yes.
Audrey,
Yes.
Greg Lewis,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
and Greg Vitale.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passed.
Moving on to the payment of bills, can I get a motion for the approval of the accounts payable in the amount of $69,817.55, which may include lodging and travel expenses?
Gina Hassett will make a motion to approve.
I'll second it. Greg Vitale.
Okay.
Any comments or questions regarding the payment of bills?
Just one thing you guys could note, Ed Knowles from the Bus Barn did not raise our rent this month, so he was graciously to leave it at the percentage from last year. So we're excited about that, and there's no major things coming up this month.
All right, very good. Thanks, Keith. Can we get a roll call, please?
Okay. Barb,
Yes.
Audrey,
Yes.
Greg Lewis,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes?
Andrew,
Yes.
Greg Vitale,
Yes.
and Gina.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, now we have our special guests from the foundation, Mr. Masick.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Yeah, I'm Dave Masick. I am currently the president of the foundation. I'm just coming up on about 2 years being involved. That was kind of in coincidence. Good morning, Audrey. I got to say good morning. With my association with the Frankfurt Square Art District. I've finishing up my 16th year and have an uncontested election coming up. So God willing, I'll put 20 years in with it. So, but I'm real excited to be here and being involved with the foundation, and appreciate the opportunity. And obviously, we do a lot of fundraising throughout the year, and anything we can do to help provide additional funds to the agency That's what we're all about. Pretty simple, and I'm sure you're all familiar with that. Obviously, 2020 was a challenge, not only to all of you here with your districts, but also to us. But that being said, we do have some good outcomes there, and we're getting off to a real good start this year. We had a real good Valentine's fundraiser with the agency did. We're working really well together on some bunny kits that are coming up, pizza. We're going to keep working on others. We got some new board members with some good ideas, and we will be playing golf in August, but more to follow on that. But not to take away from the excitement of your board meeting. I've sat through many of those myself. On behalf of the Leakaway Special Recreation Foundation, hopefully I can make this fit on the screen and stay within earshot, but I have a check to present to the agency. If you can all see that, for $20,000. And so it would be nice to hand this to you, Keith, but understand the current world we're living in. And I'm not feeling too bad for you, Keith, because you were in Arizona and we were here shoveling snow. So, but thank you for allowing me to present that to you. Very appreciative of obviously all the work you do, and happy to support it, and happy to, take the leadership of the foundation and see what we can do. And let's get this back to normal of what we've seen in the past, but yet grow it well beyond that. And, that's what we'd like to do. So appreciate the opportunity to present it to you. And that's what I have. Any questions for me or any thoughts?
Thank you, Dave. We appreciate the support from the foundation and the leadership and the working relationship that we're building right now. So I think we're doing really good work. Our team and the foundation are really enthusiastic about fundraising, so which helps everything. So 20,000, yeah, it seemed like not a lot compared to the years past, but we weren't anticipating 20,000. So we were anticipating like 8 with the pandemic. So 20 is great, and with the bunny kits coming in, we think that we know that we probably can get back up to that 45 pretty soon.
Yeah, we're definitely heading in the right direction. Absolutely. So, well, very good. Well, thanks for allowing me to join your meeting today and make this presentation. It's always nice to have a visitor at a board meeting with some good and exciting and positive news.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you very much for your, I'm sorry. Thanks for your efforts and the continued support of LWSRA. Fundraising is not an easy accomplishment under normal circumstances, let alone under our current circumstances. So we very much appreciate all the efforts of the foundation and the volunteers, and the support is always very much appreciated and encouraged. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone. I'll hand the meeting back to you, and it's all right. I'm gonna move on.
Have a great day.
Thanks. You guys all have a great day. Good to meet everyone. Take care.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah. Take care, Audrey.
You too.
And so you guys know that 20,000 is already spent. So that was just a formality. We paid the bus off with that. So
Several of them.
Very good. Any communications, Keith?
no.
All right, let's move on to the consent agenda. Can I get a motion for the approval of the regular meeting minutes of the January 18th, 2021 LWSRA meeting?
I'll make that motion. Greg Lewis.
I'll second. Andrew Laramatis.
Any questions or comments regarding the meeting minutes? Okay, can we get a roll call, please?
On paper. Audrey,
Yes.
Audrey?
Sorry.
Okay. Greg Lewis,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Greg Vitale,
Yes.
Gina,
Yes.
and Barb.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Moving on to staff reports.
Yep. So right now, facility, we have upgraded our PoE switches. Our internet was very unstable because we had a old out-of-date system that couldn't handle what we needed to do. So we had to update that. So now we should be fine and stable to do our virtual programs that kept dropping and everything. So we're excited about that. We also implemented a new tracking system for COVID-19. It's called Crisis Go for individuals that are going into our building. So what it is it'll allow us to track if we get a positive case quicker than we were able to track before. Most of the schools are using it. So I just called to see how much it was going to cost, and it was very reasonable. And it also allows us to have an intruder alert system as well. So it's all in one for the same price. And we were pleasantly surprised for that, because right now for our day program, if any of our programs, if we had a, intruder or we were locked down, we had no way other than physically calling everybody to get that information out. So we were able to implement that, and we got that up, and it's working pretty well. I mean, the first week, I'll let Melissa and them talk about. The second week, I don't know how it went because I was gone, but the first week was kind of chaotic because we had to give everybody a badge and they had to sign in and things like that. But I think we're on the track to getting that one going pretty well. Any questions about that before I get started? Go on.
What was the cost?
It was $149 a month, and it's month to month. So when if COVID just miraculously disappears, we can just cancel it. But that was for the full system. But you can, I think, a $99 one, you can get the just the Crisis Go system, and you can add facilities to your list as many as you want. So it was pretty nice. We like.
Keith, do you have to input everybody's information into the system? Like what kind of database? How does like if you need to push out information, are you uploading from your registration software, or how does that connect?
Yeah, Tom is the guru on that, on uploading it, but I believe we sent the list. We had to send export a list, Excel list to the company, and then they put it into the system based on what programs that we have and the times that we have. So and then it comes with a visitor badge. So we have a lot of visitors that come in that they could just scan the visitor thing with their phone, and it shows that they were in the building at that time. So if they called us back, we just be like, okay, this person or company was in the building at that time, and we know that if they're positive, who else was in the building, instead of trying to figure that out on our own. So I know whoever had a case out there, Melissa and I was a lot on the back end of just trying to figure out, who was impacted, what was the level of connection. So this does it all for you. So it tells you, and then you can kind of zone it down to rooms if you want. We just did the few buildings. I mean, just the one building, and just ask 2 questions, and it works out really well.
So it's a month-to-month fee with no long-term?
No long-term. So you can get rid of it anytime you want. So, yeah.
And after you answer the questions, it gives you like a badge that you can just hold your phone up to the scanner as you come in. And it's super easy. And then you scan out, so you know exactly who's in the building and when. So if someone is in the building that tests positive, you would know, you'd be able to run reports to find out like who else was in contact during that time.
So, yeah, I was really surprised on the month to month. I thought they were going to lock us into a long-term contract and all of this, and it was month to month. If you don't like it, just drop it. And I was like, okay, this sounds pretty easy. So we went forward. So it's pretty good. All right, so donations, fundraising, outreach, and grants. We're in the middle of our New Year's raffle. The TV was won by Gina Rolla. We had 3 prizes left. Now we have 2. Tessa Quinlan won the $100, and this Friday we will be raffling off $250, and the following Friday we'll be raffling off $2,500. We still have a few more tickets left, so if you would like to buy some, let us know. We'll get you in, or you could just go to our website, www.lwsra.org/raffle, and get some tickets and win that money. We'd appreciate it. That's good. And then grants, we are, let me go back to Valentine's kits, because Dave talked about that a little bit. Valentine's kits went extremely well, and we're seeing activity of people buying the bunny kits because of the quality of the Valentine's kits. So I mean, it just, I don't know what the secret is, but we have great staff, and we're putting out good quality, and people are enjoying the activities, and people are buying. So right now, Melissa, you sent me, how many bunny kits have we sold?
328 as of right now.
Yeah.
And lots of sponsorships so far.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's go ahead, Greg.
I missed that. How many?
328.
Oh.
So we sold 328. I think the max was 600, or are you trying to do more? Max is 600.
Yeah, we're trying to max at 600 because Valentine's we did 600 and it was a lot. From pickup to making them to everything. So we think anything over 600 would be really a lot of staff labor on that.
Yeah, we were able to secure a hawk from Hillcrest High School. So we were trying to figure out who else was a hawk, and I was like, I think Hillcrest, and I had a few friends. So we were able to get the hawk. Melissa was able to call and pick that up. So it made a nice touch. We purchased the hawk, but it came from China and it's still en route. So hopefully.
Are you using any volunteers to help assemble the kits?
We have not inserted volunteers just yet. I think the bunny kit, if everything goes as planned, we'll be able to introduce volunteers slowly. The last time we introduced a volunteer, it did not work out very well. This individual said that they had a test, and then the next day after they were there, they said they were positive. So almost shut down the whole production of everything, of everybody that was there putting it together. So we're still leery of those individuals, but we have had volunteers to take stuff home to do the stuff at home and bring it back to us. So we're being very cautious because we want to continue to have programs, and we've had people come in positive, staff and participants. So we just want to make sure that we can stay up and running as long as possible without any hiccups. And I know it may seem overzealous, but I think we're doing a pretty good job of keeping everybody safe. So so that's pretty much it for Valentine's kits. Grants submitted this month include FEMA. I finally finished the FEMA. I haven't heard back from them yet, so I'm waiting to hear back, but I'm hoping that we get $10,000 from them. And then SBA loan forgiveness, we submitted that, and the Laos are continuing to, they found another way to get us some more money or something, because we use more than we asked for. So there's we may get another $60,000 according to them. So, and Greg, that fee for them was $2,500 for them to complete the service. So we do have Allman Home Improvement. So if you're looking to get your windows done, or gutters or doors, they are going to give us 3% of all sales. So if anybody gets anything done around their house, please use them, or consider using them, because 3% is going to be nice. I'm doing my windows, and I got a quote for $2,000. So I did the quick math. I was like, that's pretty good. And I'm only doing 3 windows. So I was like, I'm sure people doing more windows in their house, then, that take home for us would be larger. So I can send you out that information as well. Soon we'll be kicking off our parent supporter challenge in March. we're looking for 400 families to donate $500 or find $500 for us. So, and the goal is to hopefully pay off that building, pay off the building payment sooner than 2023. So right now it's about $270,000 we have left. So hopefully we can, 400 people will, some will go above and beyond, some will not. But if we get 400 to at least set a goal of 500 for us starting in March for about a year, I think we could really knock that off really fast. And we did that with the 50 parent challenge, and we raised about $50,000 in a couple months. So I think it could be really successful now that we have this larger support base to do that. So foundation activity, like I said, today they've raised over $8,000 in the basket sales and sponsorship. And they also partner with Tony Villarosa's Pizza to do a give back day, 3 give back days over the holidays, over Valentine's Day. So we don't know how much that's coming in, but they are doing some good work, and they are really, their group they have right now are very motivated on raising money for our cause. The golf outing, will save the date, should be coming out soon. And that's all of the stuff for donations, fundraisings, and grants. Our audit is scheduled for March 15th through the 19th. Hopefully we can get that done in that time. And then the rest is just meetings I attended, IAPD, IPRA conference, the LAD meeting, which we have another one at 11 o'clock today. And then the LAC meeting, which is our directors of SRAs that meet together once a month to discuss stuff. And we're really working on an SRA timeline. So I will send that out to everybody so you can really see the interesting facts, when the SRAs were formed, put the ADA in there, and just all the different history on how SRAs were formed and the history behind it, and why what the intent of the levy money was for, to kind of educate park districts and different board members that you could share and see how that is coming along. So we do have a timeline, but it's a daunting task to get all of the correct factual information and the legislation correct when some of the people really don't understand what it was, and it's kind of murky. So I'm trying to weed through that and interview John McGovern, interview some of the other people on that. So that's pretty much it. That's my report. Any questions?
What's the benefit of paying off the loan ahead of time? You're going to save interest?
No, the benefit is to get it off our books. Really, where it's if we can get the money. I mean, we don't have to pay it off. We just want to have the money to pay it off, so it won't be a burden on. Like right now, I'm looking at once we get to the project cash flow. I'm looking at an $85,000 payment. Every year, if we can bank that money or have that money to have that payment and not wait for the member district fees to come in, it's just a ease of a money flow and cash flow process for us. Because right now, like last year when I had to make that $85,000 payment, I hadn't received the membership district fund. So it was kind of like, how am I going to do this? I'm going to dip into that 100,000. The 100,000, the 03 fund, the reserve fund, just to make that payment. So that was kind of nerve wracking. I would like to have, money in the bank or somewhere just for it, so we can have that money. So,
Greg, and Greg might know the answer to this question. Do we keep paying our extra percent after the building is paid off? Like the payment that we make to LWSRA, or does that go away?
That is something. No, go ahead.
Yeah, that's something we have to talk about. I mean, it goes away unless we do something as a board. Because that was a big deal at the time. Yeah. So we'd have to take action for them to keep using it for capital. So, I mean, my thing is that once COVID goes away, and I understand what you're doing, but I mean, we're not saving any interest. I would think people would get more behind the entrance canopy project and raise the money for that. I mean, even if you put it into capital, Keith, it does the same thing. It works as cash flow. I'm just saying it's the building's already built. So some people are going to just look at it and say, oh, the tax money or whatever's paying for it. So I don't know that they'll necessarily, get behind giving, or if it's something new, and especially to shade people from the elements, I think you got a better marketing tool with that than you do to pay off the building. And in the interim, that cash, ultimately does the same thing. Acts as cash flow or reserves out of the capital fund. So, but as we get closer, that's a discussion we should have about the extra percentage and where everybody's at with it. But that would not be something I'd do right now until we get out of COVID, because everybody is a little touchy feely with funding. So, especially if we have round 2 of COVID coming up with the super COVID or whatever. Just my thoughts.
Okay.
You, for the sake of like the new members of the board, can you go over how that came about with the member districts and the extra fees that were associated with that?
Jay, that'd be everybody other than Greg would be the new people.
Right.
Well, the theory is that in order to get the building, I guess I should prelude the history here. The former director had a heart of gold, and she would, in my opinion, it wasn't always positive, because she would skimp on having enough food at special events even to try to put money away to try to get to where they could have a building fund and make something happen. And then, which at the end of the day, even though it upset a lot of people, it got the job done because there were people willing to step up and make the impossible happen. So the park grant came forward, and Lincoln Way Special Rec was a perfect, I'm going to say, poster child for that grant. So we went after it. But we had, what at the time, Keith, six boards or five boards? I don't even remember. But we had, because that Frankfurt Square wasn't here, and Wilmington wasn't on board.
Yes.
Yeah. So we had all the member districts and their board members had to get behind it. And that was the fatal flaw with the whole thing. So they had already spent hundreds of thousands of dollars with Oliveri on planning, with no way to make it happen. But I think the board members at the time, which were our elected officials, thought that they could somehow leverage or go after a loan and make it happen, which in the state of Illinois, you cannot. So the park grant became a reality. And what that leads to is that at the end of the day, there was not enough money to support our commitment, even though we got, what was it, 4.5 million from the park grant. We were going to be short. So we needed an extra percentage, because everybody pretty much, well, at that time we had districts that weren't even levying the full 4 cents yet. So that was an issue. So like Wilmington, Andrew, the lawyer that you've got now and the director at the time, we went to the county because there was a question whether they have to go to a referendum just to get to the 4 cents, or if they could just go ahead and do the tax, because by law, as long as you are a member of a district, or of a group, at least with one or more districts besides yourself, you can levy to the full extent. So the county at the time agreed, and Wilmington instituted, which would have caused, a little more tax money from the homeowners for the Wilmington Park District. So they got on board. Piatone, I don't remember. I don't know that they were fully at it at 4 cents, Barb, but I think they were in the process of getting there. But either way, and what was going on is that all the districts, because you don't have to give, or we could give all the money to Lincoln Way Special Rec. So when I say all the money, so the full 4 cents could go to Lincoln Way, and then they would have to approve, which they're technically supposed to right now, our ADA projects, and then give us the money back to do those projects so that we're compliant with the law, which is a mess. So we early on decided we're keeping 2 cents. We give 2 cents for operations so that we're taking care of our projects in-house, which, by the way, if you're not on an annual basis giving Keith that list of projects on how you spend, or a copy of your budget on how you spend your ADA money, you should be, because by law, they're supposed to review it. And, basically they don't really have the authority to stop you, but if it ever came push or shove, from the state of Illinois, you could be called on the carpet and you could be in trouble for that, which I've never seen yet, but it is something that could happen. So anyway, that all happened. So it was a big deal just to get, a small percent of our 2 cents in order for us to complete the project. But once we got everybody on board with the project, it wasn't a huge battle, because the huge battle was just being able to get every board to vote in the positive to go after the grant. And then once we did that, we were able to do that. But at the time, it was a big deal by each board that we're going to give you more money, but we're going to take it back when we got the building paid off. Today, I don't know if that would have been that big a deal, but that's something that each board's going to have to talk about. And Keith might have to go and make a presentation as far as what we could do with that money on, for a capital projects, because we're all getting hit more and more with ADA projects that we need to get done. Keith and I and Sean Roby from Tinley Park actually talked about this whole idea of when you do your planning should be more, I forgot what you called it now.
ADA accessible?
Yeah, but he called it something else. It was universal.
Universal design.
Universal design. And that's so even whether it's ADA or if it's the mom or dad with, 3 kids or 4 kids in tow, that they're able to, pull the wagon or a double stroller, and the same issues that an individual with ADA to a point has getting through hallways and wide paths and stuff. So there's a lot of talk about universal design with projects, but all of it drives up the cost of your projects. So, so that, that becomes an issue. So that's kind of the long-winded short version of the history with this whole thing. So, and you each, I mean, Barb sits on the board in Peatone. You can imagine talking about money, and it's not for them to spend, it's for Lincoln Way Special Rec to spend. So it's not always an easy sell. So with everything, especially now, but I know my board, based on what we've done with the money and the accountability and all the great things that have happened with Lincoln Way Special Rec, I think they would be inclined to keep it going, because we've kind of, just like your own finances, when you find a way to work without that money, and I think we have too. Not that we couldn't use it, but so.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
And if anybody wants to see, I have it's in the articles agreement that we updated, how we updated the usage of the 0.0025 cents. So I think you have that. If not, I can send that copy of that out to everybody, because you see the language that we put in. But yeah, that is going to be a good conversation, because we will need that extra cent for capital projects and things that we really didn't expect out there, like, resealing the parking lot, and the roof is getting older, and things that's just normal things that you guys deal with every day, that we wouldn't have the revenue or the capital to do that without fundraising or raising money, which is in my wheelhouse, but it's a lot harder when you don't have money and you have to do it. So.
Funny story with that too, Jay. I came to the Manhattan Park District meeting to present it. I was asked by the director, and one of the board members cornered me before we got in the meeting and thought that New Lenox was taking over Manhattan. So I ended up just going with it and said, yeah, we're doing a hostile takeover tonight of the Manhattan Park District. You didn't hear? And he goes, I knew it. I knew that was going to happen. I said, no, I'm here to talk about the grant.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
All right. So that is my report. Marie, I think you're next.
Okay. Just continuing on what Keith talked about in terms of that we have been working on fundraising ongoing. And donations as well. So these are the monies that came in January related to donations and income from fundraising. This doesn't reflect any of the costs that we've expended on like the Valentine's kits, for example. So we did receive some additional Grinch donations in January of $687. We received some additional Giving Tree donations. Joy Leonardo, we received even more money relating to her memorial. And on the Valentine's kits sold, this was gross revenue after the fees, the credit card fees of over $14,000. In what we spent in credit card fees associated, not fees, but expenses relating to the kits, it was between $3,000 and $4,000 in January. So it continues like the Grinch. Those kits continue to be very profitable, and just more and more interest in them. I did, on Saturday for the pickup, I was in line with the normal parent flow of picking them up, and even in the snow with the weather and everything, people were really excited about it, and the kits were great. They included pizza making kit from Aurelio's, and strawberries and cookies, and then just a whole bunch of other hands-on activities. So it's really fun, and it just continues to sell out with those kits. The New Year's raffle we have in progress. So at the end of January, we were at 2009. So the raffle money does, this is our third raffle in, 3 months. So it's getting a little bit harder to bring in the raffle money, but it's definitely coming in. We got another Prederma grant for PATH incentive of 1,040 and other miscellaneous donations of 684. So a total of 21,734 in donations and fundraising. So that would not include registration or anything like that. So we did receive in January the December holiday raffle of the 4,000, which we paid out the prize of 2,000, but we did report on that with December, so I didn't include it in the spreadsheet. So we did implement community pass registration software in January, which definitely was a learning curve. So it will definitely give us enhanced reporting. It makes the credits, like the household credits and the Hawks bucks. So again, household credit would be totally refundable to a parent. They paid for a program and that program was canceled, or they gave enough notice. And then Hawks bucks would be like what they raised, but it wouldn't be completely refundable to them. But that money is available when they go to log in and register, so they can see the amount of the credit that they have, and it greatly streamlines the process and makes it easier for the parents to use the credits. And we received the third payment from 2 of the member districts. We'll be submitting the invoices this week for the remaining districts. Like he said, we're preparing for the audit from the prior fiscal year. We are still awaiting word on the PPP loan, hopefully being converted to a grant. And, like he said, as they've gone through the detail of what we've provided, and then they asked for a bunch more detail on Friday that hadn't been previously asked for, to hopefully get some even more money relating to PPP, and hopefully not, and hopefully it would be a grant. We haven't been billed yet for their time, but like he said, they were running at about 2,500 in fees. It may go up based on, the additional work that they're doing to get us, possibly another 60,000 out of that. So that's all I have to report for this month. Does anyone have any questions?
Who's our credit card provider?
Who's our credit card?
Yeah.
American Express, and we still have Fifth Third credit card, but we use the Fifth Third on a limited basis. American Express we use more.
I think Greg means or do you mean the the
No, is it-
processor?
Old ETF, is it Avalon? The actual service provider.
Oh, we had authorized.net. We just switched it. I don't recall right now from which one we use from authorized.net. But we just canceled that one because that one was through Bakken.
Well, the old ETS or Avalon now that you don't use them.
I don't believe so.
Okay, because they're going to increase the golf world they're going to increase their rates. I mean, we're going to new systems, but we're going to World Pay.
Yeah, I did. Let me I'll ask that question. ETS or Avalon?
Well, ETS is Avalon. Avalon bought out ETS.
Okay.
So you might want to look at that. I mean, I don't know of any park districts that's got notices yet unless they have a golf course, but their rates are going up, and they bought ETS and they're basically breaking it into third-party vendors to do all their work. So your compliance checks could be monthly now instead of once a year, and it all costs money. So
okay. Yeah, I'll check into that. That doesn't ring a bell, those names. So, but
Yeah, with me either. Yeah, it comes in to the bank. It just says community pass on it, so I don't know who the underlying provider is.
Some of the rec softwares you don't have the ability to change, like through
Right.
ActiveNet, we don't have the ability, or there's a surcharge to use a different provider than what they use. They make it somewhat difficult if you want to use a different one other than their authorized provider.
yeah, Vermont Systems or RecTrack, their new pay track is World Pay behind the scenes, but they run it all. You don't have a choice.
Right. And I think that's probably why we switched from authorized.net and our other gateway, because we had to use what Community Pass was offering. So
Yeah, definitely.
Asked the job to Tom, and he said it's called Together Pay. It's integrated right into the Community Pass software.
Together Pay?
Yes.
Okay.
all right.
All right, thank you.
All right. Melissa, you are up with John's report.
John's been busy with snow removal. I feel like he's there every day lately. But otherwise, he's been working to install the alternative air intake valve in the pump room. He's been widening the bathroom stalls for the wheelchair accessibility, and I know they're starting to patch so they can paint the walls throughout the facility, which will look really nice because I feel like it needs it. He's reviewing signage again and RFPs for a date in late April. Support services supervisor. We're currently in a brochure right now. We did start just a 4-week in-person program once we switched down to tier 1, which was exciting to have people back in the building. The next brochure, we're going to do an 8-week session, and then we're going to follow that hopefully with an almost normal summer brochure. That's our goal. Hopefully things continue to be on the rise and good and the positivity. Website and technology. Keith kind of talked about this stuff. The internet service was upgraded to faster by Comcast. We updated the switches. And the other big thing was the Crisis Go. Our participants are loving it because we gave them all an ID badge, so they feel important. So they all have them on their neck when they come in, and they're swiping in like they're big time people. They love it. So I know it's good for what we're looking for it to do, but I feel like it's also giving our guys like a sense of independence, and it's so cute to watch them do it. Facility rentals. I know we've had some private lessons in, but I know Tom and Keith are working on getting some more rentals in the building now that we're in tier 1. Freedom of information requests. We received a commercial FOIA, and that was taken care of and done on January 27th. For my reports, we had 6 staff attend the IPRA conference. We asked staff to all do a professional development summary form for each session they attended. We were supposed to host the TR Summit this year, but due to COVID, we went virtual, but we did sign into host it again this year. So let's hope by October that things are good. We can have big groups. I'm pretty excited. I sit on the board for that. Keith and the marketing team, we met to produce a 12-month fundraising plan so that we're not overwhelming people. I know this is the third raffle we've done, so I think that was too much. So we want to spread things out a little bit more. Some exciting news, we did bring back our registrar, Angelo, on February 1st. We're happy to have him back. His first big thing was to be the hawk on Saturday. So he's having a good time. I did want to say another congratulations to Keith because he was sworn in on to the IPRA board during conference. So that was pretty exciting for us as well.
Thank you.
But other than that, I know you guys got an email to do a SWOT analysis on us. If you haven't been able to do that yet, go ahead and fill that out. We are meeting with different groups. So far we've done our parent group, our staff, the foundation board, and then you all. So we are trying to put all that data together so that we can move forward creating our strategic plan. Safety, not much to talk about, but the Crisis Go is huge for us. And all of our facility checklists, like our coming into the building and leaving the building, are all digital now on iPads. So it's very easy to do and complete. And then it stores all that data as well. So we can make sure that John and Ethan are checking everything when they're entering the building and exiting. Part-time staff, we are coming up with some training. So Tammy and I are working together to come up with training so we can start bringing people back. We're excited to do that. You know, I think our staff has been working really hard, and it might be a nice break for them to just be planning again and not planning, implementing, and doing all of the above. Nadine and I, outreach-wise, have been working with the foundation on those bunny baskets. Again, we're offering activity kits, sponsorship activities or opportunities, and deliveries by the bunny himself. So we actually have 2 bunny costumes, so we'll be able to do more deliveries than we were able to do with the Grinch. So we're hoping that will be an easy revenue for the foundation. All right, Tammy.
All right.
Oh,
I'm going to make this short and sweet. I got to leave for a doctor's appointment.
can you turn your sound down a little bit?
Yeah. Turn my sound down. Okay. Like everybody said, pretty much everybody covered the stuff for the recreation team. We started programs virtually on January 18th. Those virtual programs, we did that for 4 weeks, and then we started to do in-person programs the first week in February when everything opened back up. So that's been great to have people back into the building. Like everybody said, the Valentine's Day kits were a success. I think we anticipated selling about 200, and really quickly we were at 600. So, and it was kind of nice to be in the snow and handing out those on Saturday. So that was fun as well. Let's see what else is going on. Like Melissa said, we're doing an 8-week session starting in March. So that's exciting news. We're going to extend it a little bit longer this time. So we're looking forward to some new programming, some new, maybe throwing in some tennis for Special Olympics, and a couple other individual skills for Special Olympics. Transportation vehicles, again, have limited movement. We've taken a couple in for IDOT inspections. And just trying to move them a little bit to keep them moving. But I think they've put on about 300 miles this past month. We are doing activity kit deliveries. We did it for the Valentine's Day kits to our participants. And we also are doing it for our Virtual Titans program. So they are getting a little bit of movement with those deliveries. We added a couple of special events in the beginning of January, which also had activity kits included in those. So that was a little bit more revenue for us as well for adding in the deliveries. Other than that, yeah, we all attended the IPRA Soaring to New Heights conference this past month. Most of us got IPRF scholarships for that, so that's exciting. I think 4 of us applied and received those scholarships, so that was good news. And other than that, I think that is all I have for my report. Any questions? Thank you.
I think,
Staff reports.
yep.
All right, we'll move on to the monthly financial outlook.
Yeah, so I really, really like this exercise that I got this from Greg, and looking at the actuals versus the projected. I mean, we're kind of spot on, and it looks pretty nice. And really, if we, I having the staff give me what they're planning on spending, so I'm able to plug that in. So if we keep up everything as is, or if we get more money, if we don't borrowing and we have any major things that we have to do, we should end the year with cash at the end of the month of $254,000, which is outstanding, I think, during this time. And that's a credit to my team being able to continue to think out of the box and raise extra money and figure out different ways to make this work, and the member district's cash flow as well. So I think we're doing a really good job during this time, and this sheet really helps us with that exercise of where we're spending and how we're spending, and making sure we're staying on task so we can have enough money by the end of the year. So I think it's a really good tool, and I like sharing it so you guys can see it. So and it will fluctuate a little bit, but right now, you know, like say for instance, I only have $5,000 to come in from the parent supporter challenge a month, but that may blow up higher or it may go lower depending on how people send it out. So, but a lot of that other stuff is the things that we're planning on doing, that we've done, and the money that we're getting in, and our expenses that we plan on sending out. So I think it's really good plan. So that's pretty much it on that.
Any comments or questions for Keith regarding the financial outlook? All right, nothing under facilities and planning, and nothing under old business. We are going to push off the closed session for the closed minutes to when we go back in person. Correct, Keith? That's what we decided?
That's what we decided, yes.
Anything under new business other than what would have been there?
Nope.
Nothing else? All right, we'll move on to director and commissioner comments. Let me just go down the list on my screen here. Greg Lewis.
Well, John, we don't have to have do you have to have a formal motion to move that?
If you don't call an item on an agenda, it just drops. So you don't have to have a formal motion tabling it. You can just, when it's ready to be put back onto the agenda in another couple months, that's sufficient.
Even though we've got board policy that states it's got to be reviewed at the six month mark?
Well, the reality is that I'm guessing that the board policy doesn't say anything about a pandemic either. So
no, just keep up the good work. I mean, you know, we're weathering the storm. You know, a lot of good ideas. I'm impressed. I mean, like I said, this group has done a lot with little, you know, through this whole thing. And I like to see that, because you got to have a lot of fight to get through this, and just don't, you know, crawl up and not do anything. So Keith, congratulations, you know, getting sworn in at the state level, and all the work that you do there. I've been sitting with them with the diversity committee. That's always been an interesting hour, we'll say, which has really helped me personally and professionally. So I think that's good. Jay, great leadership this week with everything going on. I really appreciate that. And, you know, more to come. You know, next piece is the budget. So, which I know my staff is having a blast with. Going back 2 years and trying to figure out what numbers we use and don't use and everything else. So thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Barb.
Yeah, hopefully you guys, I don't cut out here. My internet is quite unstable, but thank you to everybody taking notes, getting lots of ideas for our own district as well. We like to plagiarize anything I can find that we can use. I appreciate that. But yeah, exceptional work by the staff, keeping everybody in the loop. So I really appreciate it. Good work. Stay warm. The snow's ridiculous.
Thanks, Barb. Greg Vitale.
Yeah, sorry about that. So first of all, let me apologize for not kind of showing my face. We got dumped on where I'm at, and I've been working out all day, and you don't want to have to see what I have to offer right now. So I do apologize. Anyhow, to the staff, just keep up the good work. Y'all are doing a great job. I hope you all learned something from the virtual conference. Obviously, we're all sorry that we didn't get to see you and hang out and do the other things that conference offers, but hopefully next year that'll happen. And to Keith, congratulations on being sworn in. And to everybody getting the scholarships and the donations and everything else, you're doing a bang up job. So just keep going with it. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Gina.
Good morning. I'll echo what Greg said. The snow here in Chicago might be just a bit deeper than it is out by you guys. But thanks everyone. Keith, congratulations. I have communicated to the Lincoln Way staff. We may not have access to all of our schools in Frankfort this summer. So the Founder Center has usually been a location for LWSRA summer camp. We may have to move our summer camp to our building. So we'll just certainly see what everything comes to be. I think I mentioned before, and I've mentioned on some of the legislative groups for South Suburban, but Frankfort does have a referendum, a non-binding referendum ballot on our April election. There's a unique property in town called Borg Warner that we're going to see if our residents would support a tax increase for. Certainly, it is 229,000 square feet. So if we were able to secure that facility, there might be additional space available for LWSRA there. It would have turf space, gyms, again, a pool, 229,000 square feet. So, but again, it's just a non-binding, but I will continue to dialogue with LWSRA staff as we know our availability for schools and the Founder Center for summer.
Thanks, Gina. Andrew?
I think you guys are doing a lot better at sponsorships and things like that than we are down here. Our director search is still on. We're hoping to have a vote on that tonight. But I definitely enjoy the company of other directors. And quick question for the staff. By chance, do you guys have like a random fat head of your logo laying around anywhere that we might be able to put up? Trying to get a little bit more awareness out to the Wilmington community on what LWSRA is, especially as we're kind of, me and Melissa and I believe Tammy are working together to get a little event going in March. But a lot of people are still behind on the times on what exactly it is here. So I'd like to get a little bit more brand recognition out there if I could.
I think we have a old banner that had that may not be it. It didn't have, it just had your name on. We can get one sent over. They're not a lot of money, but we can have Tom send one directly to you. I think they were like less than like $50 or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be great. And it'd be something that we could hang up at some of our co-op events.
Andrew, do you have one of Keith's like LWSRA? They have video segments. You can put those on your website or social media to put them up, push them out. LWSRA has some great videos that you can, if you can put them. I don't know if you guys even have a local public cable access, but those are great. Kind of tells people what LWSRA does.
Yes, I do share a lot of Keith's content. At least I think it comes from Keith. It's got his name on it. I share a lot of his content on our Facebook page, but I feel like sometimes things get overlooked on social media. So,
yeah. Well, I'll let you know that every SRA has this identity problem. No one really knows who we are until they need the service. And that is something that I've taken on this year, and just really trying to let everybody know what SRAs are in general, because it's everywhere I go, people are like, well, we didn't know you existed. So that's why we keep doing the community events. And I was going to say, after everybody talked, that we need to maybe each one of our districts, if the activity kits are going well for us, maybe we partner with one of the districts to do that and share our list and share that and do it together, like St. Patty's Day, or we could have did a President's Day kit, or we could have did, we got to pick one, because I don't want to burn my staff out, but with inclusion of your staff working and doing it together with us, we really can, at least get one done that's really nice for each park district, and get people to know who we are through you guys as well. So it's just an idea I have, because people are going crazy with these kits, but we have creative people, and if we pick one or two, I know St. Patty's people wanted that, so I don't know if y'all doing something or jumping on it, but it would have to be like one of our districts do one thing for all, or we all do them. So it's just an idea I had.
Awesome. And yeah, this will probably be my last meeting with you all too, because I believe they are looking to appoint the next director here. So my interim will end probably at the end of this week. Okay. But thanks for having me, and hopefully the next director, Keith, let me know usually when Renee submits those reports to you, so that I can get the next director prepared with the LWSRA section.
Got it.
Thanks, Andrew. Nice job in the interim.
Thank you.
Audrey, you're up.
Let's see. Thanks to Dave and the foundation for the presentation. That's wonderful. And gosh, it's exciting to think about golfing again. That would be really cool. And thank you for telling me the Hawks identity. That's going to be helpful. I appreciate that. Congrats to Keith. And thank you, everyone. You're doing a real good job during these difficult times. So keep up the good work, and thank you.
Thanks, Audrey. Yeah, Keith, congratulations. Congratulations to the staff on a continued job well done on the success of all your programs, which has always been a tremendous outcome of your intentions, but under these circumstances, it continues to be just phenomenal. Obviously, the donation from the foundation is huge, and without their efforts, that would obviously not come through. And so we're very thankful for them. I would like to, can we get who is on the finance committee for us right now?
Hold on, let me look at that. Keep talking, I'll find that.
All right. So through the conversations last week, we're going to be moving forward. Keith sent me an email today with some information that I'm going to forward to the board after following our meeting to begin the process of the budget. And obviously the focal point, one of the major focal points of this year's budget needs to be looking at our personnel and salaries and ensuring the fact that we are in line with the recommendations of the HR source salary survey for all staff, and looking at benefits as well. And so Keith put together some initial information along with like a first draft of the budget. I'm going to send that out. And I think what we should do is have the finance and personnel committees work with Keith and Melissa or whoever else will be the appropriate staff, and let's figure out these goals financially and make sure that they remain a priority, because it's very simply, it always gets pushed to the back burner, and we need to make sure it's on the forefront and continue to achieve those goals. So did you find it, Keith?
Yep, I'm sharing it so everybody can write it down real quick. So finance and personnel is the Gregs. That's a thing.
Okay.
Facilities planning is Greg and Lewis and Jay. And we're calling them liaisons, right? John? And recreation is Gina and Audrey. Safety and transportation, Gina and Barb. Fundraising and marketing is Wilmington and Audrey. And then who is this new member? Oh, whoever that is will be. Oh, the new member committee is Wilmington and Jay.
All right, so then I guess, Keith, then if you and staff, once I get the information out, obviously if we all look through it and begin that process, and then Greg Squared can get together and you guys can start that process of, digging into the finer details. And so then at the next month, we can, start to look at it and keep obviously the board apprised as a whole, and then we'll dig into that. But I think it's important for us to make sure that we know what our goals are. I mean, not that we don't always do that, but if our goals are to get our staff, our staff's our number one benefit. I mean, just going around the room right now, the constant achievement and an appreciation of our staff. And we need to make sure that, they are we need to make sure we're taken care of. So that needs to be on the forefront and make sure we're in line with where we need to be as we achieve that budget. But so yeah, other than that, continue the good work. Thanks.
Jay, I would go ahead and get out. I mean, LWSRA participated in HR Sources study, so that information you could share with the board.
Yeah, I have that. I'll include that with my email. Yeah.
Yeah, with the whole board, because I mean, there's good data just in general, besides looking at each individual positions.
Yeah, for sure. And I know, and I like the fact that each year they adapted. I mean, I shouldn't say they adapted, but it seems like they're continuously trying to make it apples to apples. And, like they added the 5th region or the 5th dynamic this year. So it's, to me anyway, it seems to be very competitive, relative and competitive. And like we've talked about in the past, it's, if needed, it tells a story for you. It's not just your opinion. The data is there to support what you're trying to achieve. And so, yeah, I agree. It's very valuable information.
Because if you don't participate, you're not a member, they wouldn't get it. So that's why I think it's important for everybody here to have it ahead of time.
Yeah. Okay. I'll include that. I have a copy of it, and I'll include that too with the other information that Keith submitted. And thanks, Keith, for putting that together in such a quick response. But yeah, it's that time anyway. So it's time to start looking at that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, for me, I just thank you guys for just all that you guys do. And I think I sent Gina, I don't know if she's here anymore. She may have lost her stuff, but we got a new participant from Frankfurt in that had cerebral palsy that was 4 years old that joined our basketball team and was really excited. So it really, made me feel like we're doing the right thing, that this program is one of the programs that is a staple, and this person's going to be around for a long time. In the thick of things, you don't really think about those things. But, I think last week really solidified that, our program is changing lives, and this little child's lives will be changed because we have this type of program, and she doesn't have to drive to Chicago or drive all the way to Addison to get service. So it's really, I appreciate each one of you for allowing us to dream big and have the programs that we have, and really don't really micromanage us and let us continue to change lives. So that's very important for us, and we appreciate it. So I want to tell that story because that's, it's awesome that that person's going to be here for a while, and it's from Frankfurt and is a resident. So I had to really throw that in there. And Gina and I was working on some things too about getting some pictures from residents that are in wheelchairs, because that is our, people really can see that as a visual. A lot of our other individuals, that you really can't get that visual. So it really helps us raise money. It really helps us just do a lot of things that we really want to do in the community and tell our story. So So that's pretty much all I have. And thank you guys. And hopefully we can work together and get some of these things together so we can raise you guys some money as well and bring some more awareness to our agency through people that don't know we exist, like this 4-year-old that didn't know, but saw a picture of her. She had tagged us on our Facebook, and she was using the park and never seen her before in our life. So and just caught her she tagged her name and on the social media, and we were able to contact her and get her involved. So
It's very cool. Very cool.
yeah. So
All right. Any other comments?
John, did you have anything? I think you're the last one that
I'm in the bottom of the barrel. No, if anybody has a shovel and wants to come over to my place, you're welcome. Greg, are you on your way?
I did one rescue mission today already.
I'm not even halfway done.
Yeah.
Stay
All right,
safe,
well,
folks.
Yeah. Well, everybody stay warm, stay safe. We need a motion to adjourn and a roll call because we're virtual.
I'll make that motion to adjourn. Greg Vitale.
I'll second it, Greg Lewis.
Any further?
Okay. Okay. Greg Lewis,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Greg Vitale,
Yes.
Gina.
Yes.
Okay. And Barb,
Yes.
Audrey.
Yes.
Motion passed, meeting adjourned.
See
I'll
ya.
try to send warm weather your way.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care.
see you guys in a few minutes.